Hey guys, it's Gabby, and I'm back with another video for you guys today. And this is going to be all about my first trimester because, as you guys know, I'm pregnant with my first child. And I have just finished my first trimester about 2 weeks ago, so I wanted to let you guys know how I've been feeling because you guys were asking on like my announcement video and everything. So I've been taking notes for the last 14 weeks, and now I'm here to tell you guys all about how my first trimester went. So I found out I was pregnant at 4 or 5 weeks, I believe. So my first symptom was cramping, but I thought that was just a symptom of my period coming on. But of course, that was not the case. So that was week 5, was just mild cramping. So weeks 6 and 7 I put together because not much happened. I was a little bit tired. I napped like twice. I never take naps ever. I don't like sleeping during the day because one, I usually just can't sleep during the day because I'm usually at work, or I'm just not tired during the day. I can't take naps. Like, my body physically won't let me take a nap. So I either am up for the whole entire day or I go to bed a little bit earlier. So that was unlike me to take a nap. And then I also had nausea for only like 3 days, and that was the only bad symptom I had. And the nausea was all day, and so I kind of just had to snack throughout the day to help and kind of alleviate that feeling of just like I'm gonna throw up. I never actually threw up. I haven't thrown up yet, and I'm very thankful for that because I'm actually scared to throw up. Like, it's actually a fear of mine. Oh my god. So nausea I only had for 3 days, and that was very mild. I got through it because I only had it for such a short period of time. To alleviate the nausea, I just snacked throughout the day by eating little tiny things like grapes, like a banana, just really like small fruits and stuff that I could eat quickly and just get rid of that feeling. I also had a meat aversion, so sometimes you guys hear about cravings and stuff during pregnancy. Well, for me it was the opposite. I didn't want to eat like meat. I didn't want to cook meat. I didn't want to be around meat. I guess the baby was like vegetarian, pescatarian for those few days. So for like 4 days, I believe, I didn't put like a timeline here, but I just put meat aversion, and I just didn't want any types of meat, like chicken, beef, anything. And I was able to eat seafood, so I had shrimp, I believe, and that was okay, but I couldn't eat any like real heavy meats. My boobs also grew a lot. You guys probably don't know this, but I'm an A cup. Naturally, I just have always had a very small chest. I've always had a very small frame overall, so my chest pretty much matched my frame, and I just had I was flat chested, to say just plainly, basically. So I was an A cup, and now I'm closer to a C cup, but I wear sports bras. I don't wear real bras, so it's hard to tell. But the lady at Victoria's Secret measured me as a C, but you know they always like to make you feel good, so who knows if I'm actually a C. But according to me and my husband, I've grown quite a bit in the chest region. Also, during weeks 6 and 7, I was hungry, but nothing sounded appetizing. I just didn't, like, I knew I was hungry and I knew that I had to eat, but I just didn't want anything. Like, anything that Holden, my husband, mentioned, I was just like, no thank you, I'd rather just not eat that. And so it was hard for me to find meals for me to eat throughout the day, or just for me to even have snacks, really. So I mostly stuck to fruits because fruits are a pretty safe bet. And so I had grapes, nectarines, plums, and that's pretty much all I ate through well, even to now, actually. And then my last symptom for weeks 6 and 7 was a heightened sense of smell. So for a few days, I could not have Holden cook a lot of the things that he liked to eat, because me and him don't eat very similar things. He's a very like big health nut, and I'm healthy, but I'm not restrictive to the point where I'm like, oh, can't eat that because I don't know, like paleo or vegan or vegetarian or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not very restrictive with my diet at all, but I'm still healthy where I eat fruits and vegetables with a lot of my stuff, and I'm not eating a bunch of junk food like chips and cookies and things like that. But for some reason, I didn't like the smell of anything he was making for dinner. So meats and stuff, and then he also used to make like this cabbage type salad thing, and I hated the smell of that. That was disgusting. He also made like this sausage type thing, and that smelled disgusting. I had to open up all the windows I had to just like ban that meal or those meals for a few days until this like heightened sense of smell went away, and then luckily it went away pretty quickly, so he was able to go back to his regular scheduled programming for meals, but it just was disgusting whatever he was making for those few days. Then for weeks 8 and 9, my appetite started to increase, which was really nice because I like to eat. I've always liked to eat, and it was really weird for me not being able to eat or not having an appetite, but knowing I'm hungry. And so I was happy that I got my appetite back, or at least a little bit in weeks 8 and 9. I was able to eat more of the things I like to eat and that I usually did eat. So I wasn't so restricted anymore, and Holden could make the meals that he wanted to make again because my sense of smell wasn't all altered and all wacky and stuff. Then for week 10, I started to have like headaches a little bit more, so I had a migraine for like 2 days. That sucked because I never get headaches, so when I do get them, I feel like they're the worst thing ever and they're like just pounding. So that was really uncomfortable for me, and then that went away pretty quickly. I also have that I was hungrier, which was nice. I was eating whole rotisserie chickens, which I was not eating them like by myself. Me and Holden would split a rotisserie chicken. He would get half, I would get half, and we would just eat that as a meal because for some reason we just like eating whole chickens, which I know for all my vegan or vegetarian subscribers, you guys probably like, you guys suck, hate you, you're killing the environment by eating meat. But rotisserie chicken is very good, and we get them quite often, and they're very cheap, very filling to eat. So we just like rotisserie chickens. I also started not sleeping as well during weeks 10. So I wasn't sure if it was because it's starting to get really hot outside, and we don't have like central air conditioning in the house, so we just have like one little fan in our room. And so I wasn't sure if it was because of the heat or if it was because of just like general uncomfortableness or something like that. And then also Holden gets up before me, and once I get woken up or if I wake up naturally, it's really hard for me to go back to sleep if I even can go back to sleep. So I wasn't getting like a full 8 hours once Holden got up, because I would like feel him rustle and tussle and get up and stuff and get ready for work, and then I would wake up and then I couldn't go back to sleep because once I'm up and then I have to start my day. So sometimes I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep and I'd only get like 5 or 6 hours or something, so I wasn't sleeping the best. But luckily, I don't know, hopefully my body will adjust because I need to catch up on sleep now, because I'm sure we're not going to get very much of it once the baby comes, of course. So then for weeks 11 and 12, I went to the doctor. We got our second ultrasound when I was 12 weeks, and everything looked good. The baby's heartbeat was going very well, or very steady. What's the right terminology there? I was a lot hungrier. My appetite was pretty much completely back to normal. I'm eating, I think, as regularly as I was before I got pregnant, and I eat like every 2 to 3 hours because I'm just like a lot hungrier now. And then I've been eating a lot of cereal and a lot of fruits still for a snack. So I started eating Frosted Flakes a lot during these 2 weeks because that's my favorite cereal. And for week 12, I started having stomach pains at night, which I was getting really worried about, but when I went to the doctor to check up on everything, they said everything was okay, the baby looked fine, my cervix looked fine, so it wasn't anything wrong with the baby. It was just like something weird happening with my body, I guess. She didn't really give me a set in stone explanation as to why I'm having stomach pains, but that it might just be my body adjusting. And she said as long as it's not accompanied by bleeding or like severe cramping, that I should be fine and I wouldn't have to go to like the ER or anything like that. So it was just weird because for that week I was having stomach pains that happened like on the clock, and it was at like 7 o'clock that it was always happening, and it was like clockwork. And then for week 13, I have nothing written down, which I'm assuming is me being lazy and not writing anything down, but also because overall, guys, I've had a really good pregnancy. I know this video is probably pretty boring because I've had a very good first trimester and just pregnancy overall, which I know is very rare because I know a lot of people usually associate really bad symptoms, especially with the first trimester in pregnancy, like extreme nausea and vomiting every day and just feeling crappy overall for the first 12 to 13 weeks. But luckily for me, I've had a very good experience. I'm happy, healthy, and nothing has been anything I can't handle really. So I hope that my pregnancy continues to be this great, because if so, well, I wouldn't be very good because I'd be more prone to have more kids. That's all for today's video. I would love to know if you guys had any symptoms that I mentioned, or if you guys had a very bad first trimester. I'm sorry if you did, but I would love to have a conversation down in the comments because you guys were asking for these updates, and then you guys asked for a bump date as well, but I'm not showing it still, which sucks because I don't feel pregnant and I don't look pregnant. So it's very hard for me to accept that I'm actually pregnant still, even though I've had the ultrasound. We even know the gender of the baby, and I still don't feel pregnant because I don't look the part and I don't feel the part. But hopefully that'll all change pretty soon. She said I should pop at 20 weeks, so probably next month, like mid-September-ish, I'll start showing, hopefully. But I mean, I can show you guys. I'm really not showing at all. Like, I look exactly the same as I did before getting pregnant. So, and I've only gained 3 pounds. But that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.